And these are just some ideas that I came up with. Gary, thank you. He says, not a popular opinion, but I want Halloween movies every October based on different stories like the original plan. They can still do Michael movies. I would, that original idea for Halloween 3, like, let's think about it this way too. If Halloween 3 would have been a big hit, then we might not have seen, I think we'd still see Myers eventually, but probably not as soon as we did. I think they would have continued a new Halloween story every year route. I think they would have done that. And it would have been cool, but I think eventually they would have brought back Myers because I love Myers in 1 and 2, And I'm trying to think back when I was young because I saw Halloween 3 pretty close to around maybe a year or two after it came out. Yeah, I saw Halloween 3. I think I rented it on VHS probably in the mid-'80s. And I was really, really upset and pissed off. So I didn't know the whole drama behind the scenes with the movie. I didn't know that it was this huge box office bomb. I didn't really know too much about box office talk back then anyway. I was really young. But I do know that around the same time I watched Halloween 3 is kind of when I started getting into the franchise, and I watched 1 and 2. And I remember loving Myers, big time. And I really wanted him to come back. So now this is where we get interactive. Okay, I'm going to need your attention here. I'm going to need your opinions because these are 5 little ideas that I came up with for how do we reinvent Halloween. Okay. Now here's something that nobody's talking about. And I thought this could be interesting. Okay. David Gordon Green's trilogy. What if they did a part 4? What if they did a part 4? We know that Myers is dead. Okay. But we know that the evil did pass to Corey. What if they did a Corey Cunningham continuation? And guys, I think there is potential for a spin-off franchise if we did this. You could start a whole new trilogy of Corey Cunningham. Give me a yay or nay in the chat. Is this something that really pisses you off, or is this something you're like, you know what? Let's give Myers a break and let's have a Corey Cunningham killer. And keep in mind, Corey's young. He's 21 years old. Corey could talk. He probably wouldn't talk as much, but Corey's not Michael. So there could be little differences between the characters. Guys, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I wouldn't be against it. Okay? I'm not saying it's my first choice, but I would be curious. If they had a really good trilogy written, I'll even say this. All right, guys? David Gordon Green and company, they don't have to be a part of it. What if they gave it to a fresh, new director? Because remember, Carpenter was a pretty fresh and new director when the first Halloween came around. What if they had this young, fresh director that's passionate, he's eager, he loves the franchise. Kyle, I love that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And yeah, what if he uses the Corey mask? I think that'd be even cooler, right? So you could look at it as a spin-off series, not necessarily a straight-up Michael Myers Halloween series. And it opens the franchise up for, a lot more possibilities. So I'm not against David Gordon Green part 4, or Corey part 2. Would it be part 2? I guess you could start a whole new trilogy, but I'm not against it. Okay. And by the way, guys, Allison still alive. So you have a lot of different areas to play with there. Kind of dig that idea actually. All right, option 2. Okay. Reboot, start fresh. Completely new story with Michael Myers. You get to see a 21-year-old Myers again. And, I'll go ahead and say this too, all right? You could kind of combine my option 2 with option 5, But there's 2 different options there because if you reboot and start fresh, do we want a Laurie Strode timeline again? Do we want to go down that road again with a different actress, a young Laurie Strode? And really think about that, because I had to tell myself too, because my knee-jerk reaction was, no, I'm done with Laurie Strode. But am I done with Laurie Strode, or am I done with Jamie Lee Curtis? Laurie Strode is an extremely important character in the franchise. She really is. She's like Ripley in Alien. Do you get yourself in trouble by not having Laurie Strode? And they did it sort of with Halloween 4 through 6, and I think it was just fine. Matter of fact, I've even said this. I prefer Rachel to Laurie. But I'd say 4 through 6 still is occupying that same plot structure, same type characters. It would say based on characters created by John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, because of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. So, and I don't know if this makes it better, but what if you just had Myers and a completely new set of characters with new names, maybe even new reasoning? Maybe like there was a treatment out there. Somebody brought this up too, of Halloween, and it was based more around the holiday, and the killer, he comes out every Halloween. It's like something is ignited inside him, and the holiday is what makes it happen. There's no Laurie Strode, like that's not necessary. He's not after his sister. It's Halloween. He wants to kill on Halloween. That's the whole thing. And that could work. That's actually kind of interesting. So, yeah. But even that's kind of a reboot type situation, I guess the real question is, do we want a 21-year-old Michael Myers? Does that matter to you? Okay. Option 3, go the Halloween 3 route. Take a break from what's going on with Michael Myers and all that. We just had Halloween Ends. Yes, Michael Myers was in that. What if we take a break? We do Halloween 3. Maybe we do a trilogy of movies with a completely different Halloween story. And maybe that trilogy could be connected, or you could even do like a TV route. Personally, I think I'd rather go the TV route if they're going to go Halloween 3. Stretch that story out, because there's a lot of different moving parts you could explore. So I'd be more for the TV route if they're going to go the Halloween 3 route. Not that I would be against a movie, but I just think there's a lot more meat that you can chew on in a Halloween 3 type story. So before I go on, are you guys done with Laurie Strode? Do you want say yay or nay? No Laurie Strode or Laurie Strode? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Pick up where Resurrection left off. I mean, they were going to do that. They were literally thinking about doing that. I don't know if you guys have read that Halloween Returns script by Marcus Dunstan. I did a video on it probably 5-6 years ago. And his script is really, really interesting. And could be fun. There could be a lot of fun in that script. And is that something that's still on the table? Is that an option? I'm really curious to what's in Malik Akkad's head right now. Because like the David Gordon trilogy or not, this new trilogy made a buttload of money. Okay? A buttload of money. Like crazy money. More money than all the other movies combined. So I guarantee you they're thinking about their next move. Gary says, not gonna lie, H. Kill's flashbacks made me want classic young Michael in a clean mask. It's been years since we had that in Halloween Resurrection. Guys, do you want the clean mask? It seems like the thing to do these days, not with just Halloween, but even in like the latest Scream movie, you got to have the mask looking, grimy and dirty and gristled. That's the thing they want to do now. They did it with Leatherface in like the Leatherface remake. It's like they don't want to go back to the clean white mask. Do you want the clean white mask, or do you need your mask to look all kind of dirty? Well, Wesley, we were talking about doing a sequel to 5, actually, picking up for Jamie Lloyd. They have a lot of options here, honestly. They really do. And I know Danielle Harris is on board. Danielle Harris wrote her own treatment, actually, and gave it to Malik Akkad. So, that's on the table. It's definitely on the table, but I kind of wonder if that's like, yeah, maybe like a last option. I don't know. There's a lot of young, talented writers out there, and there's probably a lot of different ideas for Halloween movies. They've seen so many scripts. So I have a feeling. Here's what I think. I think the next Halloween movie is going to be a Myers movie, but I think it's going to feel new and fresh. Not as opposed to hip and scary like everything was in the 90s. Somebody was getting paid by the term hip and scary because everything was hip and scary in the 90s. But yeah, I think they're gonna, because a lot of people were pissed off by Halloween Ends. They don't want to go down that road again. So I think they're gonna have a Myers movie, but something fresh and fun. That's what I think, And I think I don't think it's gonna be a trilogy. I think it's gonna be one movie, and let's see where we go from there. That's what I think they're gonna do. And I think it's gonna be like a young Michael Myers. That's what, not necessarily, a 21-year-old. I think that it's going to be where we don't really know exactly where we're picking up in the timeline. Next one. Okay, here's the thing right here. Don't rock the boat. And that's kind of what I was just saying. They don't want to go back and piss off half the fan base or even more with Halloween Ends type stuff, And really, I think the original idea was let's the first movie in the David Gordon Green trilogy. Let's wrangle you in. We want to go, like Mustafa Akkad would say, back to the basics. All right, that's what the idea was for Halloween 2018. Then we let you kind of pull back or lean in a little bit story wise with Halloween Kills, get a little bit crazier. Make it like the ultimate slasher movie. And then the third movie, because of how much money they made, they probably were like, okay, it's the third movie in the trilogy. Go hog wild. What can it hurt? Because we've had so many of the same movie over and over anyway, right? What's it going to hurt to have one movie that's probably going to make a good amount of money? So let's just go ahead and let David Gordon Green go hog wild. I bet that's what the idea was for that trilogy. If it was just one movie, I guarantee they would have made him, stick to a certain template. So, yeah, don't rock the boat. It's just basically let's do Halloween 2018 again, or let's reboot, but let's keep it. Let's honor the core feeling and mood of Halloween, right? Let's don't make people go, what? They're doing that? Are you kidding me? No. Basically Michael Myers getting loose and killing, a group of people. Basic slasher, like Halloween 2018. I'd said abandon, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but abandoning existing characters. And I think I got the vibe from you guys that you're kind of for that. You don't really want another Laurie Strode timeline. And I do agree with you. Even though I said I'm done with Jamie Lee Curtis, I think I am kind of done with Laurie Strode as well. I compared her to Ripley, but she's not Ripley. Okay, she is one of the most important final girls in history. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but this is the Michael Myers show. All right, and we've had a lot of Laurie Strode, so I think it's I think they know that if they do another Laurie Strode, it might alienate some of the fans. So yeah, those are just my thoughts for Halloween. Just some food for thought. Going forward, there's a lot of options that they can do here, and who knows where we could go. What's up, guys? You are at the end of the DD Live clip. What I do is I like to clip these out if I think the topic is important or something that's newsworthy. So thank you for watching, and if you want to watch more, you can go over here, you can go over here, click on one of those. And hopefully I can do this for 20 seconds, which I think I did. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys.